Hey guys, RanterInShades here, exercising my first Remember Rights vlog style. And finally, after about a month of waiting, I finally have something to respond to from Metalgate. I joined a Facebook group not too long ago about Metalgate, just so I could try to keep up with everything. I'll have a link in the description to the group because I highly recommend you guys join. One of the guys in the group sent me this lovely article called Heavy Metal Tries to Join Forces with Gamergate and Fails. Now, I don't exactly follow Gamergate, although I know a few people that do, but I can agree with the principles that it stands for, hence why I'm supporting Metalgate and making this video. Apparently, according to Noah Berlatsky, the author of this article, Metalgate just died along the way. Hopefully by the end of this video, people can see how full of shit he sounds. Let's begin. Gamers are stereotypically quiet, nerdy types who mostly want to lean back with some snacks and stare at a screen. Metalheads are stereotypically bulked up, rabid Satanists and or white supremacists who burn churches when they're not murdering each other. As critic Arthur Chu wrote on Twitter, at least in gaming, there's no fandom around a well-known dev who's an actual Nazi-convicted murderer. First of all, that's real classy of you to paint metalheads in one of the most inaccurate lights possible. Rabid Satanists and or white supremacists who burn churches when they're not murdering each other. If that's you being hyperbolic, you fail. I'm not saying I can do it better, but I know fail hyperbole when I see it. But if you're not being hyperbolic and you're actually being serious, you need this little thing called evidence to support your claim. Are there statistics of murders or burnt churches caused by metalheads, or is this just something you pulled out of your ass? And about the Nazi-convicted murder thing, Berlatsky is referring to Varg Vikernes of the black metal band Burzum, a band which, by the way, I've never liked. Most of my audience knows I'm not a fan of black metal, and Varg is one reason as to why, which leads me to say to you, Mr. Berlatsky, only a small portion of metalheads worship Varg. Varg isn't exactly painted in the most positive light in metal. Most of the metalheads I know either don't care for Varg or his music, or despise the man. Not every metalhead is a fan of black metal, so to use an extreme example like Varg Vikernes to make an argument against metal is kind of weak when it's as inaccurate as I'm making it out to be. I'm going to skip the part where the article briefly summarizes Gamergate and go on to the next part, the rise and fall of Metalgate. The controversy was kickstarted when Shane Mathis posted a piece on the metal news site Metal Ejection, forthrightly titled, "The Problem with Heavy Metal is Metalheads. Stop calling everyone a faggot." In typically confrontational style, Mathis stated that the metal community was often homophobic, arguing that, in the last few years, faggot has been slowly becoming the go-to insult for reactionary cretins who can't think of an intelligent response to an opinion they disagree with. This isn't a problem with metalheads, it's a problem with people in general. Those people I referenced earlier that called me gay in high school, none of them were metalheads. And even then, people will always call someone a fag or a faggot if they're behaving like an idiot. It's like in the episode of South Park about the Harley Riders. If people are gonna call you a fag, they aren't saying, oh, he's a homosexual. It's because you're acting like a douche. And if it just so happens that it's a metalhead calling somebody a fag, big fucking coincidence. This is not to say that homophobic metalheads don't exist. They do, and they need to fuck off. But to say that all metalheads are homophobic because of these guys, or just because somebody called someone a fag, is a gross overgeneralization. Now, Corey Vanderpaul at Death Metal Underground posted a response referencing Gamergate by name and arguing that both gaming and metal were under attack by the namby-pamby politically correct social justice warriors, SJWs, who wanted to censor free expression and domesticate unique subcultural expression. At a gut level, we are metalheads. We do not stand for speech codes, social morality, and being nice to people, he trumpeted. Soon, the Metalgate hashtag was taken off, and SJWs were on the run. And that's exactly why I declared my support for this thing. Hearing the stories about what these people were doing to gamers and the gaming industry, and that they were now coming for metal, I knew right away this was going to be a censorship deal. Let's say, hypothetically, that an SJW here in New York took a great deal of offense to Alice in Chains because they say in their song Man in the Box, "Jesus Christ, deny your maker," a line that isn't supposed to be taken literally. So they write an angry letter to the venue Alice in Chains is scheduled to play at, claiming that they're horrible people who hate Christians and this, that, and the other. And the next thing you know, Alice in Chains are banned from playing this venue, or worse, any other venue in New York York City, all because somebody got bent out of shape and complained about the band. That's the shit that Metalgate is against, and something I too find to be bullshit. So I'm supporting this because given what's been happening with Gamergate, we can only assume that similar shit is gonna happen with metal. And me being someone who enjoys metal, am I gonna just be silent when bands are being censored? No, fuck that. Or not so much. The Metalgate tag was a sad thing to behold from the get-go. It mostly drew gamers excited at the prospect of an assist from Big Brother metalheads, and metalheads excited at having a new tag on which to post and share metal videos. Within 48 hours, the tag was nothing but metal fans celebrating the demise of the tag, gamers whining about the demise of the tag, and a couple of random confused advertisements for Metalgates. No, we've just been waiting for something to happen, but so far, nothing has happened. We haven't been hearing any stories of bands being censored or articles taking something a musician said out of context and painting them out to be racist, homophobic, or sexist. Nobody has been saying anything until you came along, Mr. Berlatsky. People in the damn Facebook group have been saying, when is some SJW gonna come out and try to challenge us? We've been waiting very patiently. I've been waiting very patiently to make a video like this once some story comes out, but nobody has said a thing yet. Why is that? I'm really curious to know. The article goes on to give examples about how metal isn't opposed to social justice. No shit it isn't. I pretty much proved that in my original video I made about Metalgate. Nobody is against the idea of women, homosexuals, or people of different races being a part of metal, whether we're talking about the band or the fans. My friend Atticus the Death Metaler gave a really extensive list of bands that go against that idea in his video about the subject. So that statement is pretty much a big no shit Sherlock. But the thing is, some ill-informed nitwit chose to interpret the opposite, and people believed said nitwit. The article goes on to give a few examples of some bands who have expressed some progressive viewpoints in their music. These examples would be War Pigs by Black Sabbath, Biotech is Godzilla by Sepultura, and Multinational Corporations by Napalm Death. I have never heard a metalhead or metal musician ever say that metal isn't socially conscious. Just because some bands choose not to be socially conscious through their music, like Sabbath or Sepultura, doesn't mean metal as a whole isn't socially conscious. The rest of the article is pretty much Berlatsky claiming that since games like Grand Theft Auto don't have a conscious ideology, then Anita Sarkeesian is more metal than Gamergate will ever be. Now look, I'm not a gamer by any stretch of the imagination, but I understand what Gamergate stands for. Gamergate supporters are pretty much doing what I and other Metalgate supporters are doing, pointing out and debunking any really idiotic or misinformed claims being made about something we're passionate about. What's wrong with that? Something I just kind of noticed is that towards the end of the article, you pretty much lost your original argument. I thought this article was criticizing Metalgate. Why did you turn this into a Gamergate thing? Did you just notice as you were writing this article, oh man, these Metalgate guys, they must have been right. Damn. Well, now that I've done a bit of research, I'm gonna use this newfound information to call gamers stupid. Haha! Anita Sarkeesian is metal because she challenges the world? All Anita is doing is complaining about video games, and countless people have debunked these complaints. So yes, clearly she is the metal one here. You people haven't been challenging us, hence why you have this idea that Metalgate just stopped. It didn't stop. You did. Until Berlatsky here decided to write this article. I'm going to end this video with an open invitation to any SJWs watching this. If any of you have anything to say about metal or metalheads, don't hesitate to say anything. I'll be here, and I'll be waiting, as will the rest of the Metalgate supporters. We aren't going anywhere. I'm Shades, and I'll see you next time.